A woman's expectations of you. What does that look like? Let's go on and talk about it.
I was just patient, never try skating. Fuck niggas hating.
You ever been talking to a woman and she claimed that she doesn't have any expectations? And she might even say something like, having expectations, you get let down, and blah, blah, blah. The fact of the matter is, no matter what we do in life, we have expectations. What you'll find in the end with dealing with this woman is you either exceeded her expectations or you didn't meet her expectations, even though she told you she didn't have any expectations. Like, for instance, you go to a job interview. There's two possible expectations. You got the job or you didn't. If you went to the job interview and you didn't have any expectations, you probably throw the interview. You probably do things that were counterintuitive to you getting the job. You probably have more of a nonchalant attitude, a carefree attitude, mood, and then you wouldn't get the job. In fact, if you did act like that, you can expect not to get the job. If you got the job, then it would be unexpected. Okay, but you have expectations when you are intentional, is what I'm getting at. When you are intentionally dating somebody, you have expectations. So for a woman to tell you that she does not have any expectations while attempting to date you, this is her telling you that she isn't intentional. She doesn't like you like that. Okay? So what I'm going to do in this video is something a little not too serious, but I want to break down how the woman's expectations look, even if they haven't articulated them to you. Okay, and this will help you gauge what type of woman or relationship or situationship that you are actually involved in, even if this person wasn't transparent and clear from the jump about it. Okay, now that one section I want to cover today in this video is how often does a woman want to hear from you? Okay. What are her expectations as far as how often you reach out and you text a woman, or you reach out and you call a woman? How often does she expect to hear from you? This will differ depending on her level of interest. Okay. So a woman with high interest in you, she wants to hear from you several times a day, every day. Okay. This is high level of interest in you. This is what her expectation is, even if she told you she has none. She would like to hear from you several times a day, every day. Okay. Number two, more moderate level of interest in you, or low interest. She will at least want to hear from you once a day, even if it's just a text message or a 5 to 15 minute phone call, at least once a day. Doesn't have to be anything major. Just let her know you're alive, you're thinking about her, done. That's more moderate. Okay. For somebody that's thinking of you more like in the friend zone, like platonic friends, they probably want to hear from you every other day. Okay. So if she says she just want to be friends, then you can reach out to her every other day. You're perfectly fine. Okay. If a woman doesn't like you, only time she wants to hear from you is when you have something for her. Otherwise, don't reach out. If you reach out, you're gonna get left on red. She's gonna take 8 hours to respond. She's gonna say, sorry, I was busy, etc., etc. Okay, this is how you gauge her level of interest based off of her expectations of you. And if a woman does like you and she has articulated that and expressed that she likes you, just note she wants to hear from you several times a day, every day. And sometimes you'll ask a woman, how often do you expect to hear from somebody that you like? Most women will say at least once a day. But if this woman's interest in you is extremely high, she want to hear from you several times throughout the day and every day. Okay? In comparison to a woman who's not really interested in you at all, you don't never have to reach out to her. Okay? And if unless you have something for her, unless you are calling her or texting her to set up a date, then she'd be okay with that. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter if it took you 3 weeks to a month to reach out to her again. If you offer to do something for her, she's going to accept that offer. You know what I mean? because she doesn't really like you. Okay, so what you see through this little section right here is her expectations of how often she would like to hear from you, depending on her level of interest. Okay, regardless if he told you that she doesn't have any expectations. I'm gonna help you out. Number two, let's go to the second section. Dates. And what I mean by dates, it could be just meetups, it could be something simple, or it could be legit going out on dates. How often should you take a woman out on a date? This also differs depending on how interested she is in you. So let's go with high level of interest first. High level of interest, she wouldn't mind seeing you every day, unless your schedule's conflicted. But I'm not saying to take her out every day or to see her every day. I'm saying a woman with high interest in you, she wouldn't mind seeing you every day. That wouldn't bother her. That's ideal for her. She's extremely interested in you. It could come off a little bit like clingy behavior, but that's just because she is highly interested in you. So seeing you every day doesn't bother her at all. Okay. Somebody with more moderate interest in you is not that over the top. At least once a week. At least once a week. So it could be twice a week or it could be once a week, but once a week is still good enough for her. Okay. This is more of a more modest interest level. Okay. Now somebody who's just interested in just being friends, once a month. Once a month is enough for her to link up with you, and that's perfectly fine. It doesn't put any strain or distance in between you two. I mean, combine that with you texting her every other day, because she's interested in friends, and that's what friends do every other day, not every day. And then once a month, and as far as dates and links and meetups, once a month, that's reasonable for a friendship level. Now, if she doesn't like you, she'll meet up with you as much as you are willing to pay. How much you want to spend? You want to take me on a date every day? I'll let you spend your money. You know what I'm saying? You could take me out unless she has another date with somebody else and she doesn't need you. But if you're willing to spend money every time you see her, you have access to her as many times as you want to spend money. Okay? So how often she wants to see you and she expects to see you is based off of her expectations and her interests. Okay? And you're going to see that there's a pattern. Okay, you probably already see this pattern, but we're going to go to the next section. Let's say commitment and in the conversation of commitment with the woman. Okay, what is her expectations of you based off of how interested she is in you? Let's get right to it on that one. For a woman who is highly interested in you, she is only interested in exclusive dating. She will tell you straight up she does not want to share. That is a woman with high levels of interest. She is only interested in exclusive dating, nothing else. Okay, that's what her expectations are. So if you find a woman who is highly interested in you and you aren't willing to be exclusive, you already not meeting her expectations. Even if this woman told you, "I have no expectations." Okay, if this woman is highly interested in you, she expects you to date her exclusively, and she does not want to share you. Okay, now if the woman has a more moderate level of interest for you, as long as you're honest with her, she's okay with knowing that you're dealing with somebody else. This is more modest or moderate or yeah, moderate. Okay, interest level. Like, I know he has a girlfriend, but whatever. She wouldn't care. I know he's talking to one other person. There's no need to lie about it. She'd probably be like, yeah, I'm dealing with somebody else too. This is a moderate level of interest. Okay, but if she knew that you was doing sticking and jiving with as many women as you want to, she probably wouldn't want to be intimate with you. But if she's just thinking like one other person, she's like, oh, whatever. This is more of a moderate interest level. For somebody who's just interested in being just friends, no commitment is required. Okay, no commitment is required when a woman is she claims she's just looking for friends, and this is on both parts. She's not going to be committed to you. You're not committed to her. So when a woman says, "I'm just looking for friends," she's not looking for commitment. Lastly, number 4, if she doesn't like you when it comes to commitment, she doesn't even want to give you any unless you're spending money on her. So what you do is your business. There's no conversation about commitment with a woman who does not like you. Any conversations about commitment will derail that. I guess you can call it a relationship. She doesn't like you. So when it comes to the category of reciprocity, my next category, a woman's expectations when dealing with reciprocity, it's the same principle. It depends on her interest level in you. So, for instance, a woman with high levels of interest in you when it comes to the topic of reciprocity, she is going to do for you to show you that she cares. She's not waiting around to see what you do for her. She's going to do things for you. Reciprocity is very important to this woman. And, she'd hope that you'd do the same thing for her because that's how romance is formed, and romance is what keeps relationships going. It's when you guys do things for each other. It's a mutual thing. Ooh, y'all finna see something on this one. Okay, reciprocity is very high when dealing with a woman who has high interest in you. Okay, now somebody who has more of a modest interest or moderate interest in you, she do small things, some McDonald's or some fast food or some trinkets, some keychains, things that don't really, a coffee mug, things like that. And then you can do the same kind of thing. This is a more moderate interest in you as far as her expectations of reciprocity. Okay. Now, somebody who is put you in the friend zone and you guys are just friends, gifts aren't really necessary. So you guys can do them if you want to. It's like a enter at your own risk kind of deal, but they're not necessary. They won't make or break a situation. Matter of fact, if somebody just wanted to be friends, they might even reject your gifts because they don't want to enter in that kind of arrangement with you. See where I'm going here? Now, lastly, a woman who does not like you when it comes to the topic of reciprocity, it's going to be transactional or one sided. She's not doing anything for you whatsoever. Everything that is being done and that should be reciprocated is going to be done by you, and you're going to be reciprocating your own energy. She does not reciprocate. She does not do anything for you. She does not like you. She does not want to give you the illusion that she likes you. Only thing she's going to do for you is tell you nice, sweet nothings in your ear. She's just going to use her words, and that's it. That's the only gift you're going to get is the gift of her presence. And you're going to be the one coughing up all the dough and taking her on trips and spending all your money and giving her gifts. Okay, it's going to be one-sided. So you know that this one-sided commit or transactional relationship, this woman doesn't like you. When it comes to the topic of reciprocity, there is none. So this is also good to use to gauge how somebody really feels in comparison to what they say. Because if a woman claims she's highly interested in you and she likes you, but then she doesn't do anything for you, well, you can go ahead and call Cap. Jump on the phone, but hello, Cap. Yeah, I see you. Now, one last topic, because I'm pretty sure you already get where I'm coming from at this point. When it comes to being trustworthy or trusting, that topic also depends on the level of the woman's interest. For instance, a lady who is highly interested in you, she will be transparent with you. Levels of trust will be high, and you should reciprocate that. Okay, a woman who is telling you the truth and being honest, and important details about her, she is highly interested in you. She wants to build a bond based on trust because she is highly interested in you. A woman who is more like a moderately interested in you, you are going to be on a need to know basis. Her expectations when it comes to trust is a need to know basis. Mm-hmm. When it comes to a woman who claims that you guys are just friends, when it comes to uh, being transparent or trusting in this situation, just don't let her find out. She might even tell you that, hey, I don't need to know. Just don't let me find out, because if I find out, then I'm probably going to have an issue with something. So I feel like just don't let me know. You know what I mean? Just, and that's kind of like telling you, whatever, you're free to do whatever you want to do. Your friends, just don't let me know, because if you start letting a woman that you're friends with know that you're talking to multiple women, she might lose interest. And lastly, a woman who does not like you on the topic of trust or being trustworthy or trusting, she feels like she doesn't owe you any explanation as to what she is doing. don't you dare ask her any questions about her whereabouts and what her activities are when you're not around, and why it took her 3 days to respond to your text message, and why she's in this video on some island on her Instagram, her social media page, while you guys are supposed to be talking. She just showed you right there, brother. Um, I'm not finna be trustworthy, and she doesn't trust you either. She's not trusting or trustworthy. Uh, because that isn't her expectations. So if a woman tells you that she doesn't have any expectations, you know where to put her. You know, and if a woman does tell you that she doesn't have any expectations but she likes you, you know where to put her. You know what she is expecting from you in order for you to sustain and maintain that relationship. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you like it or it resonates with you, please give me a like, comment, or subscribe. But if you're new to my channel, please, sorry. If you're new to my channel, my name is Jerome. And this has been yet another episode of The Superb Word. Until next time, y'all, two fingers. All right.